We are having here tonight, considering CPR 2020-08, the ordinances, a resolution by the Gary Common Council calling on Indiana Governor Eric J. Holcomb to initiate a robust and compassionate program for the early release, nonviolent incarcerated persons most vulnerable to the COVID-19 pandemic. Quick overview. Often prisons are overcrowded, unsanitary conditions, lack of adequate access to hygiene materials such as soap and water, hand sanitizer, presents poor nutrition, also considered the fact of frequent transfers of individuals from one jail to another, and intake of newly detained individuals from the community further complicate the prevention and detection of infectious disease outbreaks. Any discussions or comments from council members Ty, Atkins, Garwin, and Cozy?
Yeah, Councilman Williams, if you don't mind, I want to give a brief overview of where we are. First thing I'd like to first acknowledge Councilman, 2nd District City Councilman from South Bend, Councilman Henry Davis. He is here with us as well as another gentleman from Indianapolis, Brother Ajabu. I was, presented with a resolution from Councilman Davis in South Bend, where they passed this resolution, simply requesting that the governor show compassion by putting together a program of release for individuals that are in, health issues, health compromise issues, age compromise issues, or other threatening issues to them as it relates to this COVID-19 virus. Now, interesting enough, I've done a little research across the board, and I found that 20 states, 20 governors have enacted some form of release within the United States. Most recently, California, the California governor released 8,000. This was as of a couple of weeks ago. Also interesting, in our bordering states, Kentucky, Illinois, Ohio, they have also released, the governor has also released prisoners. As you all know, this Councilman Williams, I think that we're having some problems getting some people in. Never mind, they'll get in. But as you know, this COVID thing, it does not seem to be letting up. It is a threat to our society. It's not only a threat to those that are, prisoned or confined, but it's a threat simply because of those that work there in those facilities as well. They come in and out, they're back into general population, and I mean people that work there as well as the prisoners. And I'm simply asking the governor to, show some compassion. And this does not mean that we're looking for releasing hardened criminals. Doesn't mean that we're looking to release individuals that have been caught up in some aspect of some violent crime or some horrendous act of things of this nature. But you have individuals out there that are maybe finishing up their term. They may be of certain ages and they're finishing up their term. And, each issue should be looked upon individually. I mean, it shouldn't be a cookie cutter approach, but simply, asking to show some compassion. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Atkins?
quick question, Councilwoman Atkins.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Did you properly, for the record, state the council members on the Gary Common Council who is present at the committee meeting?
Yes.
Oh, you did that? Okay.
We have some joining late. I'll go back. Councilman Brewer, I'm sorry, Councilman Williams, we have been joined also now by Councilman Brewer and Councilman Lay. And I got a text here. It looks like Council Lady Caldwell is attempting to get in also. So, I don't know if we're having some technical issues. I don't know if you want to just wait again for another overview, and how do you want to handle this?
I think we are having some technical issues.
And I would just state for the record that this is the Public Safety Committee.
Yes, it's
that's meeting here.
Public Safety Committee meeting taking place at roughly 8 o'clock.
Would you?
Yes.
Would you announce who's in again so we can get started maybe?
Tonight's public safety meeting attendance from the Gary Council. We have Council President Godwin. We have Councilwoman Ty Atkins, Councilman at Large, Cloris Lay, Councilman Corey Posey Witherspoon, and we have Councilman Potterwell Bond. And,
He messed that up.
And Councilman Brewer here also.
and Councilman Brewer. Okay. So tonight, should I keep going, start it over?
Start it over.
All right. We are here tonight to consider CPR 2020-8. Is a resolution, a pending council resolution by the Gary Common Council calling upon Indiana Governor Eric J. Holcomb to initiate a more robust and compassionate program for the early release of non-violent incarcerated persons most vulnerable to the COVID-19 pandemic. The overview of this that I presented was often crowded, unsanitary conditions, lack of adequate access to hygiene materials such as soap and water or hand sanitizer, lead to poor nutrition and failure to adhere to recognized standards for disease prevention, all of which have disastrous public health. Also, the more frequent transfers of individuals from one jail to another, intake on newly detained individuals from the community further complicate the prevention and of infections, disease outbreaks.
Okay.
Would any other council member like to say anything about the resolution?
Yeah, Councilman Williams, yes, again. I am sponsoring this resolution. It was presented to me by Second District City Councilman Davis out of South Bend, who also happens to be on our call as well. This is a resolution that he is attempting to get sponsored throughout the state in most of the major cities, which affect us: Indianapolis, Gary, of course, he's passed it in South Bend, working on Evansville and some others. It is a resolution to request of the governor of the state of Indiana to put together a little robust program in helping to release prisoners that have pretty much reached the end of their sentence or who may have some health underlying issue, nonviolent offenders, but to release prisoners that reach a certain criteria. As I stated earlier, there are approximately 20 states at this point in time in which governors have released prisoners as it relates to this COVID-19. Most recently, again, California released 8,000 a couple of weeks ago. They started their program. Bordering the state of Indiana, Illinois has released, Kentucky has released, Ohio has released amongst the 20 as well. And it's simply a request to ask of the governor to be a little bit more compassionate. As you all are aware, this COVID thing is real, it's serious, it's growing. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere. And the unfortunate thing, these people who many, of course, cannot speak for themselves, you know, they need a voice. We need a voice as well, because they are released back into our communities. We have to ensure that there's programming and things of monitoring. You have individuals that work at these prisons who come in and out of our communities. And it's just simply a request to the governor to show some compassion as it relates to this COVID-19 issue and the overcrowding that goes on in the Indiana State prison system.
Okay. I'd like to, Councilman Davis from South Bend, are you still with us? Hello?
I'm here. I'm absolutely here. I'm sorry.
All right. I want to recognize you as well for attending tonight's meeting.
Well, thank you for having me.
Okay.
It's a pleasure. It really is. It's a pleasure.
Are there any other council members that would like to add discussion to this resolution?
Yes, Councilman Williams, do we know what is the number of incarceration at the prisons? So because we're requesting something, do we know if our prisoners are overcrowded or what is the numbers?
We don't know what the numbers are, Councilman Brewer, as it relates to exact numbers, but we do know that simply because of the physical nature of the prison itself, you can't do social distancing. You know, it's just impossible as it relates to sanitizers and how often they can wash their hands and the frequent contact. What I can tell you this is that I don't have exact numbers, but I do know that the prisons as well as the nursing homes are hotbeds for this virus.
Anyone else? Hearing no further comments, I would like to move this for third and final. The council meeting coming up on in August, Tuesday. What date would that be, by the way? Is that the 4th? 4th? Is it
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
August 4th at the council meeting for third and final reading.
It's over 30,000, sir.
It's over 30,000.
Yes, sir.
So it's
This is Councilman Davis from South Bend, Indiana.
that's Indiana prison. Which prison are we?
Yes,
speaking?
sir. Yeah, that's all prisons. It's over 30,000 population.
And you're speaking of just solely the prison in South Bend?
Yeah, no, sir. We don't have a prison in South Bend. I'm talking about across the entire state. It's over 30,000 people that are incarcerated in the state of Indiana.
What about, so this is interesting. What about the city of Michigan City? Does anybody know anything, information on that?
No, sir. I have no recollection or any data that shows what goes on in Michigan City or any other area.
One thing
However, I can find out.
One thing I might add to that number that Councilman Davis threw out at 30,000, one thing that we can be assured of, the majority of those people are African American. That's a known fact. And those individuals are coming back into our communities. And if there's not something set up, it presents itself as a threat to our community as well. So, you know, I mean, I don't know how many ways we can look at it in terms of population.
Are there any more comments?
Well, I'll just have to agree that definitely something needs to be done. And, you know, if these individuals have served their time or pretty much close to the end, I believe there should be some type of ways, that should be some type of leniency that the governor should put in place. So I would be in support of it.
Thank you, Councilman.
This is Elder Ajabu. Can I make a comment?
Sure. I haven't got around to public comment yet, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Tell me if I'm out of order.
You're out. Give us 1 second so we can finish this. Are there any more council members that would like to make any suggestions or discussion? Resolution. Okay. I would like to now open the public comment section. Mr. Can you state your name again?
Ajabu.
Go ahead with your comments, sir.
My comments are that I would be in support of this resolution because when you look at the prisons, they are a petri dish for the generation of this virus. When you look at the prisons, even though the prisoners have been held accountable by the culture, when they were sentenced, they were not sentenced to die by virus in the prison. There's already been deaths in the prisons among prisoners and guards. And no matter whether they've done something or not, they're still human. I think they ought to be treated humanely. And being that all other governors contiguous to the state of Indiana have saw it within their heart to release prisoners because of the pandemic, because nobody was sentenced to do time in an unhealthy area. I would hope that all of the council people there in Gary would support the resolution because we are our brother's keeper. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Any more public comment? Seeing none at the time, I move to adjourn this meeting with CPR 2020-8, third and final at our next council meeting on August 4th.